My tier was education, so my goal was to educate people about the differences of light bulbs. I did research into energy efficiency and a whole bunch of stuff. I covered LEDs, CFLs, and incandescents. Then I pulled my friends on Facebook to get data on what they knew. It was just some basic info. Then I created a pamphlet about the different types of light bulbs. I had wanted to maybe teach a class at the library and to kids so that they would know about light bulbs and maybe they would encourage their parents to buy more energy efficient light bulbs instead of incandescents. I didn't get around to doing that, so instead I decided to make the pamphlets. And those included basic information about how long the light bulbs last and how much light they cover to all factor into how energy efficient they are and what type of rooms are better for what type of light bulbs.
Basically, I asked people what brand of shampoo they use. Out of the 100 people I asked, for women the top 3 brands were Pantene, Tresemme, and Suave. Of the research I did, all of these shampoos have their own good and bad qualities depending on your hair type. For the women, all 3 of the brands named have great nutrients in them, giving you healthier hair. The downside is that there is a chemical in each of them called sodium lauryl sulfate. This chemical means that it breaks the tension on the surface of your hair and separates the molecules, causing them to have better contact between the shampoo and your hair. Sodium lauryl sulfate is a chemical that is in most soaps and personal hygiene products because it is so inexpensive. Therefore, if you would like to have a product without this chemical, you would have to be willing to pay a larger price.
My pillar is water, so I decided to focus on bottled water, its cons, and its alternatives. The first step was to research the cons. I found that bottled water costs twice as much per the gallon as gasoline, and almost 2,000 times as much as tap water. I also found that only 1 in 6 plastic bottles are actually recycled, and the rest that end up in landfills and bodies of water where they pose threats to wildlife. The final and most controversial con is the presence of BPA in the bottles used. BPA is a chemical which has been linked to heart disease, certain forms of cancer, and hypertension or high blood pressure. After reading about this, I decided to survey the people of Facebook about what they knew about BPA. I found that of the people who knew about the risks of BPA, only half were actually personally concerned, and only a quarter of the people surveyed said they had strong opinions about it. After I had completed that, I had to make a way to inform people about these cons, so I decided to make a quick app, which I called Chem24, that quizzes you on your knowledge of some of these facts. Finally, I looked into possible alternatives for bottled water and decided to test the top 3 water bottle types: glass, BPA-free plastic, and metal on their durability, ability to contain the water, and their taste. This turned out not to be so useful in the end, however, because there are so many different types of each of those alternatives, and testing one of each couldn't represent the whole category. In the end, I concluded that any alternative that works for you is better than bottled water, and the type doesn't matter that much.